I'm glad you could join me today. My name is Chris Holcomb, the branch manager and certified financial planner at Heritage Financial Advisors in Columbia, Maryland. If we haven't met before, please contact us. I would enjoy getting to know you. To better engage in this presentation, please get a pencil and paper handy so you can participate in some of the short exercises included in the slides. A comprehensive guide to navigating life's transitions. Let's think. What transitions are we thinking about? Mainly, moving from someone with no assets to someone with a home and retirement accounts. Moving from that to having children or developing your career. Moving from having a young family to helping your kids through college. Moving onwards and upwards in your career, having more disposable income and starting to save more and invest it wisely. Moving towards retirement, minimizing your spending, looking after elderly parents, ensuring your wealth is arranged so taxes are reduced, and it is passed on without unnecessary stress to beneficiaries. Here are a few life changes. Still in school, first child, early career, first child in college, midlife, looking towards retirement, early retirement, later retirement. For each stage, planning in advance can create a considerable advantage. The long-term cost of not planning or late planning can be more costly than you'd likely guess. This graph illustrates the percentage of U.S. Americans among various age groups who lack retirement-specific savings accounts. A surprisingly 50% of baby boomers aged 59 to 77, 56% of Generation X, 43 to 58, 66% of millennials, 27 to 42, and 73% of Gen Xers, 18 to 26, all lack retirement-specific savings accounts. So if you feel like you're behind on saving for retirement, you're not alone. But the good news is you don't have to be among the statistics. With planning, discipline, and professional guidance, you approach your future with confidence. We'll talk about some strategies to help you gain better financial footing for whatever stage of life you find yourself in, and for whatever comes next for you and your family. In this presentation, we'll walk through the various life stages. For example, starting out, you passed the point of earning an education and you're working towards gaining experience. Career stage, you have a spouse or children in your life and your finances may be demanding. Nearing retirement. This is often the first time many people turn to financial planning. Living in retirement. Life will change again and in throughout retirement. Advanced preparation is the key. In this presentation, we'll walk through various strategies you can employ in each state. The accumulation phase. A focal point for those in their career stage, accumulation strategies aim to help you grow your net worth. Protection. While important for all stages, those nearing retirement may focus more on protecting what they've built. Distribution. While everyone needs an estate plan, those living in retirement begin considering specific distribution strategies. Topics will cover how to accumulate your wealth, qualifications and career, starter financial products, reducing debt, spend less, save more, protecting your wealth, looking ahead, risk vehicles, distributing your wealth, minimize cost in retirement, plan your retirement lifetime income, and engage in early estate planning. It might surprise you to know that there are lots of ways to build wealth across each stage of your life. The most obvious one, of course, is to simply earn lots of money. First, you can invest in your workplace qualifications to maximize your earning power as your career develops. This can be harder to do as you get older when responsibilities pile on. Spend the time in your 20s to do this so that it pays off later. Build on your existing qualifications. Make sure you invest in what additional experience and promotional pathways are open to you in your existing or desired workplaces. Each time you make a move, see if you can negotiate an increase in your salary, bonuses, working remotely, and other benefits in kind, such as company car and other expenses. Each one will help you build your wealth by reducing the amount of personal finance you need to spend on a vehicle or traveling to work, for example. One of the other ways in which those who are comfortably off financially learn to help build wealth is in professional networking. Those who are in business know how this works instinctively. But even if you're employed by someone else, making and maintaining professional contacts can be really beneficial as you progress in your career. helping you with reaching new opportunities as well as lucrative partnerships and other opportunities that otherwise may come your way. Growing in wealth is a lifetime project, one that will pay dividends well into your retirement. Accumulating in wealth, startup financial products. For most people, this is the 401k. You have contributions to the traditional 401k, in which your money grows tax-free but is taxable upon withdrawal. Then you have the Roth 401k, for which you pay taxes on the contribution, but it withdraws tax-free. In both instances, the employer probably provides a match, so you want to make sure you take advantage of that. And as always, seek out your financial advisor to help you with selecting the funds within the 401k. A home purchase can be a good wealth accumulator, assuming you put down 20%, the mortgage is no more than 25% of your income, and you can get a fixed rate mortgage. Buying a home too soon can create a lot of family and financial stress. Navigating through life's transitions is not only about earning, saving, and investing. You can actually increase your wealth by reducing your current debt. It's not simply a matter of paying off your loans as you move through middle life. There are some priorities that you can tackle right away. Paying off credit cards, then student loans, then car loans. Avoiding new debt by having an emergency fund, and paying off your home early to pay less overall interest. Navigating through life's transitions is not only about earning, saving, and investing. You can actually increase your wealth by taking a real hard look at your spending and examining what is necessary and what is not. Think, which financial product could you buy that has benefits that would increase your family's wealth throughout the various stages of life and provide security as you age? If you can find ways to reduce your spending, you could redeploy that money in a different and more beneficial direction. It can often feel trite to say spend less and save more, but many of us can make a little savings here and there that really add up. Okay, we're going to do an exercise before we move into the next section, protect your wealth. Have you ever had something happen in your life that was totally unexpected, good or bad? Well, it might surprise you to know that financial planning is not just for those who have everything in order. It also includes thinking about what you might encounter along the way, and it takes those surprises into account. Let's take a minute to jot down 2 pleasant surprises that could happen in life, financial planning. 2 unpleasant things that could happen that could be detrimental to your financial planning. 2 things you could do this week that could help you protect against the worst potential effects of those negative life events. Take a minute and answer those questions. Okay, well, I hope you got some good answers there to those questions and give us something to talk about in the future. So what happens when the worst happens? Protecting your wealth is also about preparing for how things might look should the worst happen. No, this isn't a pleasant topic, but let's look practically at what I mean. Health developments that could hamper your ability to work full-time or at all. Job loss or a layoff. Separation and divorce. Death or disability. Can you think of something else completely unexpected that could drastically affect your finances? Given that unexpected life events can happen to every family at some point, it's important to be aware of some financial products you could purchase now to help booster your emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. You can divide insurance into a few categories to cover these tough events. There's property and casualty insurance you must have because of the county, state, and country legislation such as vehicle, driver, and home insurance. Life and health insurance will help you mitigate those costs of other expected events. Health insurance will go a long way to reducing your health expenses and consequent loss of income while you recover from an operation or deal with a long-term illness. Life insurance will protect a family from a premature death. Disability and long-term care coverage will protect against accident or illness disability. In addition, should your family split due to marital problems, have you thought about how it might affect you and your family's financial well-being? Let's talk about some implications and strategies to mitigate your risk. How might you arrange your income, savings, and investment to minimize your risk? It's tempting while you're in college, having your first child, or growing your career to keep your head down and busy with what's happening right now. But in our next exercise, you will come up with a variety of life events that remind us that life is unpredictable. And preparation is everything if you want to be able to approach each transition and life stage with financial confidence. This is not merely about looking toward and preparing for retirement, though that's very important, so that you have the finances and consequent independence and confidence that it brings. It's also about preparing for each stage before it arrives. This means a few key things in addition to working with your chosen career and progressing in order to bring wealth. For example, savings. Savings that you store away from your first job onwards will help you get into a good habit of putting cash away that can be used for other things as you transition through various stages. What types of things might you need savings for? For example, new car, holidays, a rainy day fund. Make room in your budget for investment accounts. Next to earning money, they are the best way to actually grow your wealth beyond savings and continue to grow right into retirement and beyond. Paying off as much of your mortgage as possible during your middle stage of life is a wise move. You know that the more you pay down, the less total amount you will pay in interest on the home loan. Retirement can seem like a distant land until it's suddenly here. It's decades away for some, for others, maybe you've already moved into pre-retirement or retirement phase of your life. Either way, it's important to consider what's coming both in the near and distant future. Let's write down 5 wishes and concerns that you have on your mind. So take a minute, write down 5 wishes and concerns that are on your mind right now. All right, well, I hope you wrote down some really good ideas to think about. If you still have some of your home loan to pay off, now's the time to do it. While retirement costs typically decrease at this stage of life, others can materialize. Your normal monthly expenses may change you when you retire. You may consider downsizing. However, other costs can also increase. You may be considering a move across the country or to another country, traveling more, volunteering, or doing something else with your time. It's important to plan now to enable you to facilitate those plans. Later, you may have to consider making adjustments to your home for health reasons, or funding home help, assisted living, or nursing care for yourself or your parents. Planning your investments and accumulating your wealth is one thing, but planning how you will use that wealth is another key strategy. Considering all your sources of income in retirement, savings and investments, IRAs, Roth IRAs, etc., Social Security or pension plans, other assets, side income, passive income, rental income would all be examples. Consider your drawdown strategies as well. Start your Social Security when your earnings will most likely be optimized or when you need it. Be aware of required minimum distributions and the amount that may apply to your accounts. Withdraw from any taxable accounts first, like a traditional 401k. Save Roth IRAs for later, as earnings and withdrawals will not be taxed. Save cash reserved for emergencies and market downturns to avoid selling investments at a loss. As well as your costs and spending in retirement, you will need to think about what happens when you die. If you plan to leave your home, savings, investments, or other assets to your spouse, children, or others, now's the time to get this all in order. This helps minimize the stress, taxes, and paperwork for those who are left behind. Family and home costs may persist even when you're no longer around. Have you considered how these would be covered for any dependents? Think about spouse, children, and others to be taken care of when you die. How will your wealth be distributed? Are you able to cover these financial costs in your later retirement years, including health and final expenses? Have you put in place an estate plan and distribution strategies? So you want to have a will, you want to have a power of attorney for both medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, name an executor of your will, create some estate gifting if that fits for you, establish a trust if that's appropriate for you, and certainly get professional assistance from an estate planning attorney. What about taxes in your state? How does a death in the family impact the taxes your heirs would pay? Might this mean you need to sell the home to pay for them? Is this in the plan, or would it be disruptive? Now that we've talked about the financial stages in life and the things you need to consider in each one, you're better prepared. Navigating life transitions needn't be either confusing or a scary experience. You are informed and in a thinking mode right now. Once we meet, you'll be in a planning mode and know exactly what to focus on as you move forward through each stage. Let's try one final exercise to help you prepare for a meeting. Thinking about your financial goals, the products we discussed, or other concerns you have, take 1 minute and write down 4 questions you want resolved. Well, I hope you found at least 4 questions that are on your mind that we can help you answer. In this presentation, we have worked through 3 key strategies that are useful throughout life stages. And these strategies are accumulation, protection, and distribution. I hope you now have a clear picture how to navigate through life transitions, whatever your age, aspirations, or needs. The time to begin investigating your options and planning is now. Thank you for your time today. I hope we answered some questions for you and created some new questions. If you'd like to set up a 30-minute complimentary call to discuss the questions that you created from the previous slide, please reach out to our office at 410-975-8387, chris@heritagefinancialadvisors.com, or www.heritagefinancialadvisors.com, and we'd be glad to set up a time for us to talk. Have a great day.